If everyone is ready, I think we can start. Littlefish Foundation, they use Kiva model on the Cardano blockchain to facilitate the donations to the activists. Let me start. I would like to start with a short story of mine. I have been a scuba diver since the age of 17. The first spot that I dived in Turkey, near a small town in the Mediterranean Sea. I remember seeing so many lobsters. I revisited that spot after 2 years when I was, I think, 19 years old. There were so few left of them. 10 years after, there were none. And pollution made sure I couldn't see beyond 2 meters, where before I could see clearly hundreds of meters. We all have similar experiences, you know. Our planet is the midst of the sixth mass extinction event, and we need to take action. So this Littlefish is all about. The war against the climate change is global, but our battles are local. Our failure of cooperation results in the tragedy of commons. This is humanity's greatest challenge. Yet conventional organizations are totally ineffective. The lack of transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability. We don't know how they spend their money. We can't participate freely, and we can't verify their actions. There should be a way to support the people. I'm sorry, it's passing. And our solution is to create a DAO of like-minded and like-hearted people who will take action to regenerate global commons. These people are the boots on the ground activists who put in their time and work necessary, but lack of resources. Global collaborators who provide help in their little ways, like with donations or with social awareness. And the technologists who create the systems that make this all possible. Our vision is to put power on the hands of the people to meet the needs of the people, animals, and the planet. And our mission is to bring like-minded, like-hearted people together to take an action. Our objectives are to create a DAO. I'm sorry, it's passing again. I have to fix that. Create a DAO that is open and transparent, accountable in the donations and decision-making process. On time, getting money in the hands of the people quickly as it's needed. On the ground, supporting the people who do the hard work, and local, we say local, global in scope, and local in its effects. Technology is quickly transforming our society. The first transition was from the physical to the digital, like cash to credit cards. The second has just begun. Cryptocurrency are replacing the payment systems, smart contracts are transforming business contracts, and Littlefish Foundation will transform the world of activism. The perception for the user that they lend money directly to the local entrepreneurs in developing countries, but actually it funnels through intermediates and local bank shares is significant and could reach up to 20% to cover the bank costs and risks. Kiva, as well as need funds, donations by user or corporates. User perception is that fund goes directly to entrepreneurs, but in reality, there are few intermediates and high commission payments to finance the work and risk. No traceability of real impact of the entrepreneur. In traditional funding mechanisms, there are no possibility to generate additional funds. But in blockchains, tokenization, staking, and NFTs may generate additional funds, and it will be transparent and open source. So, why Cardano? We are all part of the Catalyst community. This is where like-minded people who share a vision can meet. Cardano offers us the transparency, new methods of generating funds, and global community of passionate individuals. This is a tentative, I'm sorry again. This is a tentative map of what we hope to accomplish. We start small with manual processes. We learn by doing. Anything beyond the first three steps are estimation of the order. What we learn in the process will most certainly change our direction. This is the estimated donation cycle of Littlefish. So we will request for the donation proposals that we will be doing today after the presentation. And we will have the votes from the community, and we will select one or two proposals from them, and we will continue the funding process. And after the funding, we will request from the proposers provide of the evidence. And after that, we will have the evidence validation, and we will refine the process, and we will start to implement the DAO. This is our team. We are parents, entrepreneurs, activists, and techies. We are a diverse group of individuals from around the globe with complementary experiences working together for a common goal. We plan to have three initial phases. Phase 1, building the community. Phase 2, building the technology. Phase 3, implementing the DAO. We start with a community based on cooperation, collaboration, co-creation, and connection. And we learn by doing. That means our next steps are having weekly discussions, as we held 2 of them already, initiating the donation cycle. We will start today, developing the white paper, building the governance structure. This is the end of my presentation, and I would like to hear your questions. Thank you very much.
Wow. Jam, I've been watching this, come together, and every time, for those of you that don't know Jam, every time he takes in information. So anything that you have to add to this and to flesh it out, any question, Jam will take it to heart and flesh it out. Do you have a link to this presentation? Because
yes,
one thing I noticed was that you flew through a lot of information there. Even the slide that benefits entrepreneurs and benefits the commons. There's so much information in this presentation and so much stuff being done in the background. There we go. So there's the slides to it. And there'll be a link on there for weekly meetings on that presentation as well.
Thank you, Melanie.
Yeah, Jim, well done. Amazing talk. Can you add also the link to the one pager, basically, that explain the first donation process?
Yeah,
so
just a second.
So basically now for everyone, if you have a question about the subject, we are starting the first donation process. So both projects can basically apply to get funded. Projects that related to impact on the ground, SDG related impact on the ground can apply, and whoever wants to join and be part of the donation process. We started with a small amount and limited just to try it all, but everyone is welcome, and we prepared a one pager about it.
I have them in the chat.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I am a user of Kiva and a supporter, and I kind of didn't quite understand your correlation, and you seem to glass over that a little bit. Could you develop that a little bit more, please?
Yeah, sure. We think that there should be a way to support the people on the ground in their SDG activities. So, in traditional models, in Kiva or Kickstarter or Patreon, you have to pass the money through Visa or MasterCard or the conventional banking systems. And they have the fees, and they are taking about 25% of the money that's donated to the system. In Littlefish, we have the proposals. People submit their proposals on our webpage, and they're instantly voted and instantly paid. So people who need instant money for their activism actions, such as earthquakes, fires, other stuff, and they will get the money instantly without any query. So people can also bring their audience to Littlefish, and they can request it through their YouTube channels, Twitter, or other social media. And what Kiva couldn't do here is we try to do some badges and medals to the activists and the supporters, so they can bring their NFTs and they can share their NFTs on the activities that they supported or donated to. So this will make a social impact also. And you know, people like to share their abilities, and this will be all anonymous. At the end, we will try to have a anonymous social identity that represent themselves without identifying their IDs. This is different from Kiva. And as you know, in Kiva, sorry, you lend your money, but in Littlefish, you can stake your money, and you can take your money back anytime. You can have also donation options, and you can also purchase something from someone that is doing an act of the SDG.
Was that it's important point, your question? Is that was clear for you, the differences now? Because it's important question. Kiva is an amazing platform, but
I think if you brought up your slide number 9 and just left it there for a little bit, and we could look through it and talk through it a little bit more.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's good to have Tom as an experienced Kiva founder, lender, let's say. We have been also considered some of the things, as we had some members who support initiatives in Kiva. But if Tom experienced some challenges using Kiva, we can also consider in our platform when developing it and try to avoid such issues. But one of the most important thing, I'm not a supporter in Kiva, but I have seen that they receive 25% of the funding for organizing things out there in the platform. And in some cases, some banks didn't allow sending the money to the proposers. So not issues from the Kiva, but there are some issues based on the company's organization, bank's organization. So we have considered such kind of issues, but if there are other issues, maybe Tom can raise and we can consider when developing the platform.
Well, I think a couple of issues that I hit was, one, they have the community organizations that have to, I guess, certify the borrowers, and some areas the community organizations would take a pretty high percentage, and all the money would not get into the hands of the borrower. I mean, the Kiva limited it initially, it was typically $10,000 for the borrowers, and it was heavily into agricultural, not necessarily climate or change the world. Very beautiful organization from my experience. I dealt with them through Cornell University in New York, and they were a very good organization and brought us in nicely. So that's my, resistance that I felt, was that the end user wasn't getting as much money in all cases as they should have. And sometimes the certification process was questionable.
Yeah, no, Kiva is an amazing platform, I think, no doubt. But the challenge with Kiva that you don't actually give money directly to a project, although you think you are, but you give it to a pool of money as a user, and this pool of money go to set of supporter. There's a couple of intermediates. And second, you don't have any control on the projects being presented on Kiva, right? So here we want to decentralize all of that. So members can suggest projects that they are close to, and members can actually provide the financial support directly to projects, eliminating intermediates and eliminating commissions. So that's kind of the model that is being built.
Well,
but Kiva is, yeah.
That
Sorry.
sounds very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom.
One thing, hello everyone, I'm Sebastian and I also in this project. But one thing I want to expand on this answer is that because we will be building on top of a decentralized ledger, Cardano, and Cardano has a very growing DeFi ecosystem. As a project in the ledger, we can connect to all that ecosystem and expand all the different ways that we can generate yield, or we can transfer funds, or we can use different types of stable coins in order to ensure that the people are getting their actual funding. So I would say, even though we are starting from the model of Kiva, the blockchain is actually allowing us to do much, much more. And that's gonna supercharge the technology we're gonna deploy and change the model and improve on it. So I think Kiva is just a starting point, and we are like the next level or the next iteration of this idea.
Yeah, and one of the objectives is to have everyone being part of that. You know, Tom and everyone is welcome to be part of that. Help us build what we are trying to build. You know, join our weekly meetings. We have a summary in the end of the meetings that everyone can see what discussed and a recording. And yeah, come and help build that. And the first donation process, you can see it in the one pager that is attached. But be part of that, give feedback, help to design it. You're welcome.
Well, I've looked at the Facebook page, and I will proceed further with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And by the way, I used to scuba dive in the Atlantic Ocean when I was young, and the codfish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the codfish disappeared. We used to scuba
Yeah.
dive on a bunch of battleships, a U-boat off Block Island, and we found a boat filled with rum from the Prohibition area. So that was fun. But good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So you know how the seas are changed, and we can't see anything inside the seas, and the living organisms are gone totally, and we have to change it altogether. The responsible organizations can't handle all the things by themselves. So I think we should join and protect our world.
It's a plan. Let's go ahead.
Thank you.
Well, we had one of our meetings on Monday when Jem introduced the idea of the proposal, and Dimitri from Sri Lanka was up at midnight to attend the meeting, and then going back to sleep 2 hours later and getting up at 3 to go to work. And he's got a lot of projects on the go. He's an active member in Cardano for Climate. He's missed Fund 7 proposal deadlines, and he's come along with 3 different proposals. And because we know him, we're connected to him, it's like we can look at these proposals and go, yes, we know him. He could run away with the money and disappear, kind of unlikely. And we can also follow him directly and instantly. And it's just the beginning of what we start to do and to experiment. It's coming up quite quickly. I don't think you've actually covered those deadlines, have you, Jem, and what the plan is for this first initial funding round?
Yeah, let me check. Yeah, the proposal submission ends by January 10th at 10 p.m. UTC. Donation collection ends at 16th of January. Community vote will be on 17th, and donation distributions will be also in 17th of January at 10 p.m. UTC. After that, we will be tracking the impact, and we will have the organization.
And you also covered that you're meeting every week. Is that correct?
Yes.
All
Yes,
that
we have
all that information is where?
Yes, all that information will be available on our Discord channel, and they can subscribe to the Discord channel. The Discord channel link is available on the one pager. And I can also paste it here to the chat.
So Keith, Jacob, Marcus, Brock, Daniel, what's coming up for you on this? What questions do you have?
I'm sorry, my name is Daniel Bittellock. I've been listening intently. This is fantastic, and I too am interested in collecting and distributing funds. From my end, I mean, I came from Ethereum, and what I've discovered using Cardano, it's just a lot of unexpected things that I take for granted developing with Ethereum that just don't exist for Cardano. And I mean, Ethereum's clunky. What I'm getting to is in terms of testing. There's not like, what do you use for testing? For example, for Ethereum, I've used Dapatir. I'm a web developer by trade. Clunky automated testing tools, but far ahead of where you're at. How are you guys approaching that?
Well, yes. It is true that the Cardano ecosystem is very early and perhaps the tooling is not quite there. I also develop a little on Ethereum, and obviously there is a lot of tooling there like Truffle, Hardhat, Ganache, and all of these things. Right. And they're very friendly if you're not from a coder background. Well, friendlier, right? It's still very difficult to develop on Ethereum. But
it is, yeah. I mean, with this specific application, it's, so many of the challenges I've faced just even with Ethereum all come down just to tooling. And I'm curious, I'm brand new to Cardano. I've been kind of watching it for about 3 months, but what do people typically use?
Right now, the main thing would be the Bluetooth application backend. That's basically an environment, a sandbox environment that allows people to test the smart contracts. And the Bluetooth application backend actually uses the real-time algorithm of the main Cardano network in order to calculate the fees. So when you are testing on the Bluetooth application backend, the fees that you're going to get when you're testing the transactions and whatever are going to be pretty much the same as when it is deployed to the mainnet. And as this tool advances, it's actually going to become more complex and even allow for certain simulations of the blockchain in real time. So you can test how your transactions are going to go through the different blocks using the extended unspent transaction model. That's the accounting model of Cardano, right? The EUTXO. So yes, at this time it's clunky. It is more difficult perhaps than on Ethereum, but on the long term, this is going to get easier, and there are going to be a lot of more tools. And ultimately, because Cardano has this excellent property that when your transaction is accepted by one of the nodes in the network, you have the guarantee that it's not going to fail. Not like on Ethereum, right? That you're on an exchange and maybe you run out of gas and Ethereum takes away your gas and the transaction fail. That could never happen on Cardano. And that's why this platform is ideal on Cardano, because we are not going to attract traders, right? People trying to make money or try to make some sort of profit. We are going to try to fund grassroots projects, and we cannot ask the people funding grassroots projects to risk their money on gas transactions that may fail and have that money, taken from them from the network and lose that money. So I think Cardano is ideal by this type of platform. and that's why we're here and not on other chains that are using EVM more.
Well, I certainly don't want to monopolize anyone's time. I put something, a link to my basically authentication through the NAMI wallet. This is about as far as I can take it with automated testing. It's software that you're free to use. It's all open source, of course. If that's a resource, I'll just leave it at that. You can check it out.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. Are you familiar with Gimbal Labs as well?
No, I'm barely familiar with, I've heard of the Plutus platform. That's the last term I was familiar with.
I think you'd find a really beautiful home with Gimbal Labs.
Gimbal Labs.
Gimbal Labs,
Right.
if you've got the Townhall slides, they have a meeting every Tuesday, and the links for all that, their Discord channel and the links. Actually, they have their meetings through Discord. I think you'd find that very fascinating, and you're welcome.
Well, thank you for that.
I pasted the Discord link of Gimbal Labs to the
Perfect.
chat.
Well,
Thanks.
Much appreciated and nice to meet you.
Thanks, Jim.
You too.
Yeah, I've forgotten about gas fees. You know, I've been on Cardano for a while, and there's certainly not as much utility as we're hoping for, but we are definitely working towards more of this, more transparency, more quickness, more utility. Yeah. Thanks for that, Daniel. Very, very helpful input.
Well, I hope to get to know you guys more. As I said, I'm new, but I'm also just chattering now. My apologies. Good day.
No, you're welcome to chatter. You and I can chatter together, take over our conversation, but welcome for sure. And thank you for coming and piping up. Keith, Marcus, Brock, Leroy, please feel free to and welcome to pipe up. As Catalyst says, we have a safe and lively environment to reach the highest in collaboration. There is no judgment. There is no stupid question. We're here to figure it out. And if you have something that you don't quite agree with, speak your mind and we'll figure it out. We're not here to oppose or to argue. We're here to figure out different perspectives and understanding of how things can work better. That's the whole plan. That's the whole goal, making the world work better for all.
I'm Keith. So I'll share a little bit. I got familiar with ADA a while ago when ADA was around 17 cents or less. What I was, there was a company in Germany that sold small increments of gold. It was a multi-level marketing company, and they had been around since 2011, and the people involved try to recruit people, you know, just like any other multi-level marketing company. Then at one point around 2017, they decided they're going to create a cryptocurrency backed by gold. So I was looking at, familiar a little bit about cryptocurrency, but not that much. And that's what got me involved in it, was getting involved in this token when it was an initial coin offering. And they gave you bonus coins, and I ended up getting about 1 million of these coins and referring people, and the person that referred me referred people, and the whole thing blew up. And so I felt bad. I said, what am I going to do? I got all these people involved. And so some of the people that were involved, they decided we're going to create our own token. It was the G999 token. And they had products attached, but a lot of the multi-level people moved into that, and they built it on the Stellar blockchain. And so that turned out to be a bust. And so I said, what am I going to do now? That's when I found out about ADA. And so those other two projects, except for the one on Stellar, the first project was built as an ERC20. And so I had to migrate that and pay gas fees in order to get it over to the G999. And then I took the G999, everybody involved, and what would happen with this coin is they wanted to run it up, since the people that own the gold back coin, they saw, okay, we control the market because no one else is involved with this coin. We're just going to run up the market. What they didn't count on is the people that got stung with the first coin just wanted to jump ship as soon as they saw some money. So it got to 7 cents and everybody just dumped it. And so then I noticed the pattern. I kind of hung in there hoping that this thing would turn around after the initial dumping of the coins. And it never quite did. It would go for a few months and then it would reach about 2 cents. And then everybody would dump them again. And that kept going. And so when it got to 2.1 cents, yeah.
Sorry, Keith, you and I could have a conversation on this together. I began in crypto through Carrot Bars and through
wow.
D999. So we have a lot to speak about on this. And I can sense you're getting burned on this. One of my friends out of this, though, introduced me to Cardano. Maybe 5-6 months ago, and my heart has landed. All this multi-level BS that comes from it is not here. The FOMO, the driving a price of a coin up, it does not exist here. I don't know how long you've been in this community, but you'll find you've come here for a reason. And we have a lot of these sour experiences, from the gas fees to the ICO phases where we get dragged into, this coin that's going to go to the moon. It's going to take care of me in my retirement, and there's all these hurtful things. And eventually you can come back to where you really need to be. And I feel strongly that that's what this is. Now, do you have a question that relates specifically to the Littlefish Foundation?
Yes, and that's where I was going. It's just
sorry to interrupt, but I'm getting really involved in the conversation. It's like, I can carry this on for a half hour, but for the other people that don't know about it.
Okay, where I was going with this is that I got everybody out and into ADA. So everybody is in ADA now. And so I have a pool of ADA. And it's like 38,000 total. And that's how I came into the space. And someone came along recently that is into trying to do something with the ecology. What he's trying to do is he's trying to save the forests. Now I heard some talk here about saving the ocean. He wants to create a method where he can, rather than have somebody come in and destroy the rainforest, be able to purchase the property in order to prevent it from being destroyed. And so he wanted to create a coin in order to do that. So I connected with him, and that's why I'm here. And I saw your space, and I thought, well, maybe there can be some kind of a collaboration.
Are you talking about
maybe
Peter
join your community?
Peter from Cardano?
No, I'm
Somebody
talking
else.
about, Jesse from Colorado.
Okay, so we need to connect for sure, because there's
that sounds like it.
Yeah, there's going to be some collaborations going on with Peter from Nanaimo, I think he's, or New Westminster, and he's got a project on tokenizing old growth trees. So definitely you have landed in the right place. I'm also going to drop some links into the Cardano for Climate Telegram and Discord channels.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you so much.
So Brock, go ahead. You got the mic.
Hey, thanks. How are you doing today? Excellent. Hey, Sebastian. Yeah, I just this is the first time I've actually caught one live, and so and the first time using the breakout room and getting into some more information. My business partner and I have been in the crypto space since 2017, and we did a ton of research and decided that our best option for investing in what we consider infrastructure was Cardano, with the way it's being developed. And as a result, we talked my brother, who's the tech guy, to talk him into setting up a stake pool, which we've been running since the ITN and have been running ever since. And we believe in the fundamentals of Cardano, the principles behind it. And our stake pool, we named it Agape Pool, which refers to like a principled love where you're looking out for other people's interests first. That's the theme that we run on. And so early on, we reached out to Andrew Thornhill and his team that were working with Bias Vineyards with the Scan Trust QR code track and trace solution on the blockchain, on Cardano blockchain, to do some work with them. For us, we obviously with our kids and everything, we value our environment, and we're wanting to build out a marketplace that will essentially prove that. We've been working with another developer who's using a different blockchain, side chain, to help with transactions and stuff. And we're at the point now where we're getting ready to be able to launch the marketplace. And specifically, our desire is to be inclusive to everyone. So how we've tried to set it up is to make it so that you can post a watermark NFT. So show what you would be willing to offer as an NFT before going to the expense of actually minting it on chain. And then we're trying to develop a way to come up with reputation. So being able to, as a seller, because our main idea with NFTs is not just the digital aspect of it and the metadata, it's linking it to physical products. So that's why we're really interested in Bias Vineyards, because they're using the QR codes to track and trace their wine and show chain of custody with their specific wine. And that also proves it's an authentication. That wine is produced by that particular vineyard. And so for us, like, we are trying to develop, work along with climate like incentives as well, carbon credits. I've reached out to a gentleman by the name of Derek Ellard. He is a designer for ships, and he's designed several different ships that are sail cargo ships and run on electricity as well, so that we can generate carbon tax credits and be able to sell those to supplement those who are transporting goods via sail cargo. And this is, like I said, the first time that I've gotten in on a conversation like this, but truly like, we are very interested in using the resources that we have to try to help individuals build their identity and specifically their reputation, to see that they are, in fact, you know, a reliable, honest individual that you can say, okay, well, you claim that you have this product at this quality that you can deliver to a port, for example, so that it can be picked up for shipping, and be able to trust that, you know, because of their proven track record, that that is going to be delivered as expected, and you'd be able to transact with that individual. And then as you're moving your cargo, you can have it so that the chain of custody is actually in transition, or as it's moving across the ocean, the next owner could take ownership of it for customs and everything like that, to make things a lot easier. And so my brother and I have taken the course that through Emergo Academy, We've done that because we're interested in building our digital identities. We realize that this is how the world is going to be moving forward. This is how things are most likely going to happen, and we welcome that. We don't want to, hide anything. We think that transparent transactions are by far the way to go. So we're just interested in working along with individuals like the Cardano community, and just super excited to be here, and just interested. I'd like to have further conversation a little later on with Sebastian, just because I know Sebastian a little bit, to see where we can collaborate, because I really love the idea of being able to do the microfinancing, micro lending, helping out. And specifically, like my business partner, he's a farmer. And so again, we've reached out to Sail Cargo in Costa Rica. They are a small community down there that are helping organic coffee growers set up their coffee plantations. They've done that over the past few years, and they're building the largest wooden sail ship, cargo vessel, that'll be sailing from Costa Rica up to Vancouver. And I'm a Canadian. I was born and raised in British Columbia. So that was something that I thought would be really cool to be a part in. And I think that if we can get things going where we can help them supplement the slower movement of cargo and the more manpower that's going to require with carbon tax credit and the sale of that.
Have you have you listened to Ministry of the Future?
No, I have not.
Listen to it on Audible if you can, or get the book. Really quite amazing, because you're talking exactly about the shipping, about sailing, and that's really resonating with my heart. I'm also a local BC person.
So
cool. You'll find a lot of us in Cherryville.
What?
Yeah.
I grew up in Lumbee.
We're a half an hour apart, people. How's that for a small world?
Well, I'm not there anymore. I'm in Manitoba right now, but
you know where I live.
Grew up in Lumbee.
So
yes, I do, most likely.
Yeah, off grid.
That's awesome.
Please, Brock, join our Cardano for Climate Telegram, our Discord. There are as you speak, my brain is going crazy thinking about all the different connections that you have with everybody else in our group. And we've only started this 3-4 months ago, and starting to draw people in and make these collaborative connections around climate change and around these issues of traceability, transparency, trust. Oh, there's 3 T's for you. This is all really, really important to us, and we're working towards it. So very happy to have you on board. Yoram, you have something to say.
Yeah, I will just add, we had a big discussion today. We are going to have next week, it's not related to Littlefish, which is the subject here, but we have next week a small conference about regenerative agriculture. So, and transparent traceability of supply chain is very, very important there, obviously. So yeah, so log into this Telegram and you will get more information about there. And we can chat afterwards. And you said that you like the microfinance and supporting projects. That's really what we are trying to do around Littlefish, is give this support directly to project.
Yes, that's awesome. I would like to try and incorporate it. Like, I'm not gonna try to pull the wool over your guys' eyes or anything. Even Sebastian knows I'm not a tech person. I just realize the value of the technology, and I've tried to act on it quickly to try to reach out for ones to help me build this marketplace. And thankfully, because the Cardano community is so kind and generous, I've actually been blessed with falling into the right hands, as far as I know. I couldn't tell you otherwise. It could be scam, but this is the best scam ever then, but I don't believe so. We're actually getting things built and being able to mint things and everything with our marketplace. So super excited about that. I'm not trying to advertise anything or push anything out. I'm of the opinion, of the belief that you build something that's working and secure and functional, and then offer it instead of promising everything and then not delivering. So we've been working on our platform for I guess close to a year now, and it looks like probably February would be able to do our launch on that. But I'd really like to take some of the revenue from the platform and put it back to the community, specifically with ones who are starting up with their Prism identities on the blockchain, and help them to start build reputation in transactions. And then in the future, once we have enough base, that's where we're look at building a DApp with somebody hopefully like SingularityNet, which would be able to provide some sort of idea of when you're plotting a course, charting your course with sailing cargo, you'd be able to see what loads are available, what products you could be taking or picking up from your current location and delivering to your destination of choice. We think that something like that would potentially help a lot of yachters, ones who are just doing it because they love that lifestyle, they love the ocean and the environment. Give them another
I have a few high school friends that have done sailing for quite a while on the coast, so it's very, very cool. Can you do me a favor though and introduce yourself on the Telegram channel and just, you know, who you are and your connections, different things like that, because there's so many pieces. You're going to find people jumping in and going, oh my God, I know, you know, exactly what you're talking about. I know how I can help. Did you happen to put in a proposal for Project Catalyst for funding or not?
No,
Okay.
no, I have not yet. In the
Okay.
future, we would like to entertain doing that.
Yep. And that's where we can
Right
come
now,
in.
initially, we're
Yep.
yeah. Right now, we're, and maybe that's a failing on my part, a pride thing. I'm wanting to deliver like a little, like an MVP, showing that that's where my heart is to provide something that's useful to the community. I'm not in it.
You're right on track, because that's a big part of it. Just coming in with nothing to show, you're not likely to get funded. Having this drive, proving yourself first, absolutely spot on. So
yeah, so that's our plan of attack anyway. That's how we're approaching it, and hopefully, and I'm quite confident that it will be a fairly successful plan of attack if we can prove that that's what we want to do, and have smart contracts that are helping to reinvest into the community with ones who, you know, are wanting to build reputation with Prism identities, and also funding, like with Derek, he, like I mentioned, is a sailboat designer, cargo ship designer, and with his project, basically he's ready to go. He just needs funding. So if we can, as a community, come together, crowdsource some funding for ships for a transparent international marketplace that can provide eco-friendly transport and help different ones get on board with that, I think that would be something that would be a win-win all around. So,
and it's why we're here, to help each other do these incredible things, all these different gifts that we have, all these different skills and experiences, different perspectives on solving our little world, our problems in the world. It's exactly why Littlefish is here. You know, the creation of this decentralized autonomous organization to help figure out how to get these funds in and out to the people that need them as soon as possible. Quite fascinating. I hope you can join the meetings on Monday, take part. We have this proposal too coming up for it's 1,000 ADA, Jem, is that right? 1,000 ADA maximum.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, and so we're all contributing a small amount to it. Whether we see anything out of it, there's no guarantees, but it is an experiment, unlike any others, and that we do hope. Unless we try it, we don't know if it'll work, right? What have we got to lose? Yeah.
Exactly. Excellent. What is your Discord channel then, so that we can
If you
get on board
scroll
with
up,
that?
yeah, scroll up in the chat there. Yoram posted all the Cardano for Climate links, and Jem, I hope you're gonna post yours once more as well.
Yeah, sure. I will post it again.
Perfect. So thank you for sharing,
Excellent.
Brock. Again, I think we could talk a little bit longer. Leroy, you're sitting there, either you're on mute or just shy to speak up. Your turn. If you care to share, you don't have to either, right?
Well, thank you for acknowledging me. I'm sort of like a layman. I'm just sort of like listening in, trying to figure it all out. I know that a DAO is like a decentralized autonomous organization, but there's so many, and they have different I guess well, I don't know what the word would be, but they all want to do different things. So it's sort of like overwhelming, and I'm just trying to figure it out by taking in as much information as I can.
Well, we're warned in the town halls that things will break, that may overwhelm, they will inspire, but we do have this great place to collaborate. DAOs are, pretty new to me as well. I'm starting to understand them. The whole idea of decentralized governance is so foreign to me that it's hard to comprehend. Have you found your place? Have you connected with other people? You're new and just exploring. How are you connected with Catalyst, Leroy?
Well, I have ADA, and I've been trying to follow Cardano as much as I can, and I got connected. I tried to follow Catalyst and all the
fire hose of information.
Huh?
The fire hose, you jumped in the fire hose of information?
Well, I guess you could say that.
There's a lot going on. Have you found a community, some community that you resonate with?
Right now, no. No, I'm just sort of like all over the place. But Cardano, to me, is I would consider it a community. When you say community, what are you specifically talking about? Like,
what is it? Our community, it's like our Cardano for Climate was a proposal that we put in Fund 6. It was a challenge. And out of it, we've joined forces. We're 160 people in the Telegram chat, 170, 180 in Discord. And we've formed this like-minded community where our hearts, our values are around solving the issues on climate change. This Littlefish Foundation is one of the offshoots of this community. And you'll find there's a lot of other offshoots like Cardano, Littercoin, different proposals, Dimitri in Sri Lanka, just all over the place that we're starting to make connections around climate change. If you're specifically looking for information about decentralized autonomous organizations, because you said you're a layman, so not a developer.
Not a developer, no.
What drew,
yeah,
what drew you to Cardano? I'm curious.
Cardano, I've been, like I said, I've been trying to figure out cryptocurrencies forever. I got a little Bitcoin, and then Cardano seemed to me like in the early stages, like around 2008, 2009, I got Cardano. And specifically is because they seem like they were transparent, you know, and they kind of let you know what was going on, and it seemed like a big community. But initially, it was just to invest in cryptocurrency.
So you got hooked, and here you are. So there are many different communities within Cardano. Catalyst Swarm is one. There's the tech side in Gimbal Lab. Our group is relatively new, 4 or 5 months old, Cardano for Climate, based on climate change. There's WADA that comes out of Africa. Waya Collective is also out of Africa. Just different communities are forming. Empower, they help support development in Africa as well. Yeah, the more you can connect, it's pretty incredible. And I hope you do find some group that you resonate with, and you stay.
Yeah, climate change is pretty important, but it seems like a huge, humongous task.
Well, they call it a wicked problem because you can't really say one way it's coming, you know, one way it's coming from. It's so many different ones. And the more we have from the different perspectives, the greater chance we have of actually making an impact on it. Our group is about that, trying to figure out calculating impact, traceability, actually connecting on the ground projects with blockchain solutions, and Cardano being the most environmentally friendly with the UTXO. They're 10,000 times, they use 10,000 times less energy than Bitcoin because of the type of transaction that they are, and they're fast. And the fees are minuscule, less than 1 ADA for them. So there's a lot of different reasons to support. A lot of the stake pool operators are working on being 100% sustainable energy as well. And there's a group of stake pool operators that have actually initiated calculating the carbon footprint of Cardano and helping to mitigate that by planting trees, connecting, making connections that way. So pretty unusual place to be in the crypto space, but pretty wonderful at the same time.
So is this DAO like something that need to be funded, or are you figuring out ways to make money so that you can apply it to like climate change, or how do you really work?
You've asked the questions we're asking ourselves, you know, and we come up, we meet together and we try and figure out the solutions. How do we generate sustainable income so that we can keep giving and not doing the same donation cycle that the Green Party does? You know, we need more money, send us some more money. We need more money, send us some more money. We have to figure these things out. One of the ways is a stake pool, and it generates different things. Jem has some ideas too, you know, for taking what we have, what we give, and creating more out of it.
In fact, we want to generate a social infrastructure so everyone can share their NFTs and badges and medals there, and they can exchange their NFTs in that ecosystem. And also we have the tokenomics, so we will distribute our tokens in exchange to the ADA that is submitted to the system. And we plan to create those NFTs with the artists all around the world. So if someone proposes an activism act, and we will request from an artist to fill out the NFT, and that will also give value to the system. We have lots of projects, yeah.
So they're gonna like be donating the NFTs, and you in turn like sell them and use it towards the climate changing.
No, they are not donations. They will be valuable after a certain amount of time. So if you think of a big act in the world, and you have an NFT for that act for several years later, and it will be valuable. Yeah. So both the creators, both the supporters, and the activists will get benefited from it also. We will try to have an ecosystem, and we will maybe in the next years we can have a metaverse kind of game playing system. So we want to combine them all together.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's all very interesting, and it takes a lot of mind power to really kind of visualize everyone's vision.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Jim, do you have anything else, or should we feel like we need to wrap this up?
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you very much for all of you for listening. I hope you to join our Discord channel so we can collaborate all together.
And there is also the Littlefish proposal in Project Catalyst. Have you put the link in for that? We've got our funding round coming up. Voting starts, I think, January 6th, or does it already start? Yes, and
I think we have to register our wallets, right? By tomorrow at 11.
Yeah, tomorrow is the deadline.
Okay, so
No,
then we start
tomorrow. Voting starts January 13th.
Okay, so the snapshot is tomorrow. ADA needs to be in your wallet, staked 500 ADA or more, and you have the opportunity to vote on different proposals. Every ADA is 1 ADA's worth of voting power. Brock, did you have any other questions?
Not right now. I'll definitely get in touch with Sebastian here some more, and with you as well, Melanie, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
And I'll just double check and make sure that the pool wallet is registered, so we can give you guys a little boost that way if possible.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Awesome.
We have the power.
Thank you very much.
We are the little fish. We've come back around, and we can start making a significant difference together. Not alone, but together we can make a difference. So thank you all for coming. Jim, are you good? Closing up?
Yeah.
Yoram, any last words from the snail? If you guys see these snails around, that's our Cardano for Climate community. I have to show you what happens when I do mine. It just looks like I've got a big snail outside coming in the door. So with that, I think we're going to close up. Thank you so much for coming. I'll stop the recording.